What's up, everybody? Trying to check and make sure that everything is going through. Not sure if anybody's on or not. Probably not going to be many people on because it is New Year's Eve and it's everybody's probably trying to get their night started. Me personally, be here cleaning in the shop and will probably be in the bed before 10 o'clock. Who knows? But I'm just looking to see. What's up, Mr. Fireman? It's just me and you. So I guess I got sound. Let me see. Yeah. I'm gonna try and figure out Happy New Year to my dad. I'm gonna try to figure out how I can put, I've got a big screen TV. Yeah, the sign of old people or mature older people. It's not really worth going out, and it's a new year. Yeah, it's time to Happy New Year, Double R, RGR, Auto Dynamics. Yeah, I've stopped going out for a while. Well, since I stopped drinking. I think Aaron posted, this thing's kind of hot. I had it on earlier to kind of heat in the shop a little bit before I got the fire going, which reminds me I need to put some wood in it. But I think me and Aaron have been 840 days, I believe, without alcohol. We quit 2 years ago, I believe, or over 2 years ago on September 11th. I think the last time my dad said 840 days. So the last time I drank was at my brother's wedding, and that was the last time. I don't need no alcohol no more. I'm not knocking alcohol. You know, I just don't have a desire for alcohol. I could manage mine. I wasn't a drunk. I didn't go out and drink. I drank socially. I didn't have to have alcohol. I didn't get off of work and say I gotta get some beer or whatever. I just drank because I felt like that's what I needed to do while I was out hanging out with my friends, at the bar, shooting pool. But I learned that I can go out and do those things without drinking. Kind of, my dad's kind of the influence for that. He drank a good part of my life, and when he had his accident and he stopped drinking, we would go hang out and he would buy beer for me and my brother and stock the refrigerator, and my mom would drink and me and my brother would drink, and we'd all party around him and he would still hang with us. So I got to looking at that as, you know, I don't really have to have alcohol to have a good time. My dad's having a good time. He ain't drinking. And then it kind of ate at me to be around him and drink in front of him. That was something bad on my part. My mind's pushing me into preaching right now because yes, drinking's not a sin, but if something you do in your life causes somebody else to sin, then it's a sin. So me enabling somebody to drink that would go out and drive and hurt somebody else or do anything like that, then it turns to sin. So I'd rather just scratch that from my book. Yeah, so my dad says 16 years. Mr. Fireman said about 21 hours for him. like I said, you know, I enjoyed drinking. I enjoyed hanging around the house and drinking. Nothing wrong with it. If you can contain it and not hurt anybody and not hurt yourself or put anybody else in danger, then do it. Drink, have fun. You know, Jesus even turned water into wine. So it just says don't be a drunkard. But I don't know. But anyways, I was just hey there, Anthony. I'm drinking a Monster Mean Bean. There wasn't really nothing in the fridge but water, and I wasn't wanting water, even though that's what I need. And I'm going to try and stick with water for the new year. Don't know how long it'll last, but this was the last one in the fridge, so I figured I'd finish it before the new year. And then tomorrow, I'm going to stick with water and maybe sweet tea, but only a cup of sugar. So it's carnivore month. I'm not sure if Erin's on or not. I know she's in the house canning some blueberries. We've been trying to get the refrigerators down to where if something ever happened, I wouldn't have to depend on the refrigerator. I wouldn't have to waste a generator or solar to keep a refrigerator running. But anyways, I'll flip around here, show you guys the shop. Almost stoked the fire, and I just noticed that my Trump 2020 is in the back. I'm not big on politics. I'm not going to hide it, but some of you guys might not like it, so we'll get off of that picture. I don't you know, I believe in morals, and I believe in the right thing. It's like Tony Evans says that, you know, somebody came to him and said, are you a Republican? And he's like, well, that depends on what the question is or what you're asking. And then he's like, and he says, oh, or you know, like an abortion. If your question's about abortion, then I'm Democrat, but whatever. But in the end, we should all be kingdom minded, and if it's not biblical, then we shouldn't be about that. If it's biblical, then I'm kingdom minded, and these guys that run and run our country, they're not the end all be all, whatever it is. But anyways, I'm gonna flip around here, put some wood on the fire, and let's see. Next, we'll have to figure out our nutrition. All our food is poison. Yes, definitely. I've noticed that stuff has the GMO or whatever it is in it, and that's why me and Erin try to stick with food that we get that's farm fresh. That's why we farm here, other than work and YouTube. To get our own food, grow our own food, produce our own food. That way we know what we're taking in. I'm not really worried about where I'm going if I die. I am kind of a doomsday prepper, if that's what you want to call it. I just want to be prepared if something happens. I want to have the means to live and help others until the bitter end. I don't want to struggle. So let's see, we should all be team humanity, not divided by team. Definitely, that's what I'm looking for. You know, I don't knock you if you're a Democrat. I don't knock you if you're a Republican. I don't knock you if you're a conservative. Whatever. You know, if it's moral and and humane, then yes, that's what we need to worry about. Them people, who knows? I don't even think that they know what they are. But I'm gonna flip around. So I'll put some wood in the fire. It's kind of hard to run the camera and do all this. I feel like when I'm doing it by myself that I can only talk, which I guess I'm pretty good at that. Because I can't really control the camera and I can't do much, because then I feel like I gotta keep moving the camera around. But it was really just to get in here and hang out with you guys. Crank this up a little bit, get it back going. It died down. So I'll grab the camera and I'll show you guys so far. Let me take this thing off. Maybe. I know I walked you guys around last night and showed the place, but I have this here. I was gonna put a door in, but the ground goes uphill. So I've got to dig that down, which it's lower back there in that back corner. You can see it goes up. So I got to dig all that down, dig this down to do the concrete in here. I have the money to do the concrete, but I don't have enough unless I get in here and dig this out by hand, which has been kind of cold and I just haven't felt like doing it. It's a lot of digging. If I could rent a backhoe or something, or a little skid steer, I could come in here, scoop this out in a matter of an hour or so, and then carry it somewhere. But I have this plastic up where the door is. I was going to build a door, but I would have had to dig out the outside to make the door swing. And then when I dig this down to do the concrete floor, I would probably end up having to redo the door. And I don't have the money to go out and buy the stuff to do the door but one time. So my plan is plastic right now. I did put plastic up on the walls to keep the heat in. I put the welder in the corner and it won't roll around on the rocks with the bottle on it, so I strapped the bottle to the wall here, and that gas line is pretty long, so I'll be able to move the welder up and weld at the front of the car, or I can probably move it around over to the side and weld on this side. So that's my plan with it, because I can roll it around without the bottle on it because it's not very heavy. Got the torches. I'm not sure if they're going to stay right there yet. I just stuck them there. And I got this parts washer, which I believe the parts washer, I'm going to move that table that's underneath there. And I'll probably put the parts washer there, and I'm going to remove that section of shelf. And I'm going to put more shelves up, and I'll probably put shelves up here to store all my screws and woodworking and house plumbing stuff. That's the prepper in me. So I have like paint stuff. I have commode fix for drains and commode stuff, and nails and screws and nails and fencing stuff, some spray paints, some sheet metal and carpentry belt. Then I have some things down here that's empty, and I have working tools and grinders and saws here that I'm going to end up putting in this and underneath it. once I get it cleaned out. Some fence. I think that tote's empty. That blower really needs to just go somewhere because I have a gas powered one now. But this wood table right here, I'm probably going to end up moving it. I might mount it back right here on this pole where it used to be when I first moved here. Mr. Charlie gave me that lathe when I went up and did his car. He gave that to me. I got to get a motor for it. I'll probably build a stand for it and mount it on it. And I have a drill press which is leaning, and that's what I was working on. Wood floors, they're horrible. This is like primitive, so I'm gonna shim that up. I moved the grinder. I had it standing right here, but I decided to kind of combine it over there. It's not horrible. I can come in here, grind here, and if I need drill, I can drill. And then I actually bought this. I told you guys last night. I'm sorry it's not like Mr. Fireman's awesome Sawzall or Do-All. I can't remember what the name. I know what the name is, but it's not his. His is beautiful. He's redone it. This is just a Rockwell. They're pretty expensive used, but I bought this one for $75, and it works good. It has a bunch of inserts, and it's got a wood blade on it, and it came with several more of those little inserts and some wood blades and some metal blades, which my welder at the shop has a welder, and we get the blade in a band and we cut them and make our blades at work. So anytime I need a blade for this, I can just cut and make me one. So once those are gone, then that's what I'll do. The ESOB welder, it's going back to the shop. I have that Miller over there. But the heater's working pretty good. Trying to put this thing back on the tripod. It's not wanting to go. And I'll pick up the tablet and see if anybody's said anything or any questions. I've got the one black toolbox. It's pretty organized. So yeah, do-all. My dad said a do-all. Figure out nutrition. Happy New Year, Brad. True that. Always have been good at talking and backing up what you talk, son. Sometimes. So, but the black toolbox is full. I've got the red one cleaned out. I'm gonna put machining tools or precision tools in there and some other stuff, specialty tools. So I'm not sure if you guys seen the video last night, and me and Aaron are going to do a live on Fridays, and it'll be a Bible study. So we're planning on doing a Bible study live on Friday nights. It'll probably be 7 o'clock maybe. I'm not sure, 100% sure on it yet. And I would love for you guys to join us with that. We're still going to do Tech Talk Tuesday. So I'm adding more to my plate, but it's a new year, and I want to push God, Jesus, and spend more time with Him. Yes, all this stuff's great, and being able to do this, but if it wasn't for Him, then I wouldn't be the person that I am. I wouldn't be able to do the things that I do. I told Aaron today when we left church that I don't meet very many people like me. And I wasn't trying to say it boasting or trying to be Don't know what the word is. It'll come to me. But I wasn't pushing it out there, you know, bragging on myself for what I do. A lot of people they specialize in one thing, like an AC man. He goes to school, he spends his life going after AC, or either he just gets out of high school and starts out as a helper, learns the trade, and that's all he knows. There's guys that are electricians that's all they know. They can do other things, but not many. But they specialize in one thing. I don't think that I specialize in any one thing. A lot of you probably would say I specialize in building Camaros or building cars, and I wouldn't even think that I specialize in that. I went to school to be a machinist. I can run the lathe, the mill, run most any machine, but I still don't see that as what I specialize in. I don't know, but I can do just about everything. I can fix ACs, I can fix stoves, I can do electrical, I can do carpentry, I can do woodwork, I can car building, I can build engines, I can sew, I can cook, and like I say, I'm not saying that bragging. I'm saying is that God has blessed me with the ability to do all these things. If it wasn't for Him, I wouldn't be able to do any of it. It's just crazy that He combined. I would say it's a miracle, and it's unheard of, because not many people can do all those things and do them really well, or teach themselves how to do the things that I can. It's not a miracle. It's God's gift to me, and He could take it at any time. But anyways, let's see. Arrogant. Yeah, that's a word. Yeah, Auto Dynamic said well-rounded. Very very well-rounded. Let's see. Exactly, resourceful with no boundaries. Other than boundaries we give ourselves. So yeah, I'm well-rounded, very well-rounded. There's very few things that I've seen that's torn up that I can't fix, and I didn't go to school to learn none of these things. I didn't go to auto body school to learn how to build cars. I'm self-taught. I watched my dad work on cars, do basic mechanicking, put starters on cars, put alternators on cars, put heater cores in cars. Not saying that my dad can't do other things. That's all I witnessed growing up. I get my mechanical abilities from him, but everything I see, I take it and run with it. Just like when I started at the installation center, I started there, and I set on a mission to take over, and that's what I did. Every job I ever did, I always have the mindset of taking over and becoming the best at what I'm best, car builder. I believe that I could do more if I had more money, but that's not in God's plan for me. So if that ever comes about, then we'll just see. I feel like if I was put up against somebody building cars, I feel like I could outshine or outbuild them because of the way I am and the way I know. I feel like I could be great at it if I had the opportunity, if I had the backing, and I don't have those backings. Like I say, it's not in God's plan so far. If he decides to take it and run with it, I'm going to take it and run with it, but I'm going to carry him all the way to the top with me. I will not forget God. I will not probably ever again talk or do a video that is on social media that I do not talk about God. I don't care what nobody says. God's the reason I'm here. And if he sees me to have millions of followers, then so be it. I've been watching the Bad Chad videos where he's building the 50 Ford, the shoebox Ford, and he's been doing it every night. And I'm like, man, how does he go live in our video every night? Like, he does it like literally. He's been working on it today, and I guarantee you there's a video out right now from what he's did today, and it's out there, and he gets like within 2 hours of posting the video, he's got 4,000 or 5,000 views. I'm doing good to get 300 views, 400 views, but then again, he has enough followers that he can make a living doing what he does. I can't make a living doing YouTube, not at this point. So I have to work a 9-to-5 job or a 40-hour week job. I wouldn't say 9 to 5 because it's only 10 hours a day. I am off on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but I have to do that. And then on top of working 40 hours a week, I still have with my wife. I still have to spend time, which I work with her. She's there with me. We're around each other all day, every day. The only time we're separated is when we're home and I'm working in the shop and she's in the house canning and doing stuff in the house. So we're together all the time, but that's still, I don't want to neglect her and not spend intimate time with her. Not that way, but time with her, hearing what she has to say and listening to her and her opinions, because her opinions matter to me just as much as anything. She's my best friend, the love of my life, and I would do anything in the world for her. I couldn't ask for a better person to spend my life with. She's awesome, she's beautiful, and we are one. I couldn't live without her. I probably wouldn't be doing the things I do right now if it wasn't for her as well. I owe her a lot, and we need to spend time with our wives. I know you guys probably spend time in the shop, and our lives are so busy that we neglect our family and we neglect our wives, and we need to spend time with them, and we need to fellowship with them and hear their voice and their opinions and things. I know some of you guys are probably like, no, but you do. It makes a healthy relationship. I have so many people that reach out to me and ask me to pray for them and their family and their relationships, and my go-to thing is go to church, get in touch with the Lord, and I promise it will help you. But I don't come out and say that because a lot of people don't want to hear it, but it's the truth. If you find peace with God and you love Him, everything else will fall in place. And spend time with your wife, spend time with your family. We're only here for a short time. The kingdom is at hand, and it's only a matter of time before He comes back and we're called home. We could be here today and not tomorrow. I see people around me this past year that I would have never thought would be gone, and they're gone just like that for just no reason. You know, God's getting ready to call His people home, and He's coming back, and you guys need to be ready. You need to have your families ready. We need to worry about pushing the real narrative, which is Jesus Christ. We need to worry about pushing that. I've been gonna do a post about it. Let me check and see what's on here. Let's see. I'm gonna read some here. Word, auto resource boundaries. Carrie, Gail, that will be great on Friday nights. It will be awesome to hear the Word of God and learn more. Definitely, we all could use more God. God has blessed me with the same gift. I feel like I'm limited by imagination. It's called common sense. What's missing in our society? It definitely is, and that's auto dynamics. That's what I was getting at with Aaron, was that kids these days don't do nothing. They stay glued to their phone. They can't do anything. I used to repo and go out, and I also did calls going out to roadside assistance, and it would be grown men my age that can't change a tire, didn't know their car even had a spare tire. I mean, that stuff needs to be taught in school. We're so worried about in school teaching that you can change what gender you are. I'm not even going there. It's sad. It makes me want to cry. They need to teach home ec. They need to teach carpentry. They need to teach auto body. I mean, they're teaching stuff that ain't. They're teaching us how to figure out a math problem 63 different ways, when the way I learned in school is perfectly fine. I haven't exploded. My brain hasn't exploded from having to do it the old way. Sometimes things don't need changing if they work. The only time it needs changing if there's a faster, easier way to teach somebody to do it, not figure it out this way, and you got to add this and this and this and this, and then you make a pyramid and all that. 4 plus 4 is 8. Bam. You ain't got a 4 divided by 2 by whatever. It's horrible. The world is definitely going the wrong direction. I think they made a movie years ago about it. They probably made several movies about it. Let's see. You have to have common sense to have good hands. He's already there at the top. Let's see. Happy New Year, Chris. Chad, I'm talking about God. Yeah, I sure do love you. My wife, already when God, looking forward to it. Just as we have physical needs like air, food, and water, we have spiritual needs like forgiveness, peace, and salvation. Yes, we definitely have spiritual needs. But what I was getting at before I got off on the whole tangent about schools and the way kids are. Let me throw some more wood. I'm still looking for a name for what to call it. I think somebody said Fellowship Friday. I had Faith on Friday. So if any of you guys have a thing to call it, because I know we have Tech Talk Tuesday, and that's TTT, Tech Talk Tuesday. But I need something for Friday. This is what I'm talking about, like old stove. I could cook on it. I've got cast iron stuff up there, Dutch oven, small grill, another pan. But like the Dutch oven, I can bake bread. I know how to make my own bread from yeast and cook it in that out on a campfire. Kids these days, they can't. Now, some of them that have YouTube channels that go out and the wilderness and survive, a lot of those people just pretend like they know what they're doing, and they go out there and they make videos and they read up on it and they practice it and they rehearse it and they make content. But if you was to take them out in the woods and just turn them loose, they probably can't make it. I would hope they could, because I feel like if you're going to teach somebody something, you need to know how to do what you're teaching. So maybe I should stop building cars. Let's see. I have 5 years of machine shop training. So Mr. Fireman said that he was a machinist 13 years before he joined the fire department, and that's what I was. That's what I was getting at. Like, the number one fear of death, of ways to die. If you ask people what you believe is the most horrible way to die, probably 90, it might not be that much, but I would say probably 90% of people that really thought about it, the most, and I'm not talking about some kind of serial killer chopping you in little pieces, piece by piece while you're alive, starving you to death, burning you with cigarette butts or whatever. Yes, that is horrible. Nobody should have to go through that. It's horrible that people would even think about doing that thing. But just a natural death, car wrecks, falling to their death. Let me make sure that the camera's not going to die. To see if it has enough on there for me to preach, even though I've been doing it already. I would say that 90% would say death by fire. Probably more. To be killed by fire or to burn alive is probably the most horrifying way to die for anybody. And Mr. Fireman was saying that he was a firefighter. I was a firefighter myself. I went to school. I'm a certified firefighter. I have vehicle extrication classes. I have search and rescue. I have hazmat, hazcom. I have all those things. I've done it, and I've went into burning buildings, and being in all that turnout gear, going into a burning building and searching for people and dragging people out, not knowing if they're gonna, even if you're dragging somebody that's already deceased, just so the family could have something to bury. It's horrible. While you're in there, just in the gear, the flames are so intense. You feel like you're burning inside of the turnout gear. I've been in there and I've seen people panic and they pull their mask off, and it don't take but one breath of hot air to kill you. It will burn your lungs inside. Your lungs will fill with water. You will die in the hospital from pneumonia. It is horrible just being a firefighter. And we go in. I've worked wrecks where cars were burnt to pieces. I worked one wreck where an 18-wheeler had hit head on with a car, and the man in the 18-wheeler had came out of the 18-wheeler, went through the windshield of the car, and the two people burned to death inside of this car. And we had to carry it back to the fire station on the rollback, put it up on an angle on the rollback, cut the top off of it, and cut the back off of it, and wash the body parts out the back and pick them up. And we didn't know who was who, and we had to put them in one body bag. The biggest part that I found was a foot still inside of a shoe. It is horrible. And they probably didn't feel nothing. They were probably knocked out. They might have been dead on impact. Who knows? But I would say 90% of people are scared to death of dying by fire. It's probably one of the top ways to die. And you're in this turnout gear, and you go in and you open up doors, and you're crawling, and there's flames that are coming down and just licking at you from the ceiling, because it's rolling on the ceiling. And when you open up the door, it rolls out from the ceiling up through the doorway, and it comes down at you, and you feel like you're burning in there, but you're on a mission to save somebody's life. That's all you care about, is saving somebody's life and being a moral person and being somebody's hero. My brother, I was going to post a video one day and make a little video of it, because my brother, he was in the fire academy with me. He went on to be a Baldwin County sheriff, and he was on the news for saving a woman in a house fire. He had no turnout gear, no nothing. He arrived on the scene. The house was already, I wouldn't say fully engulfed, because the outside structure was still standing, but internally it had burned the roof. The roof had come down on top of the lady on the inside of the trailer. My brother went in. He couldn't do anything. He got forced back out. Another officer went in. That officer got forced back out. He ended up getting a gas mask, and he went back in. My brother went back in, and when the second time he went in, he heard the woman, and he went and found her. She was under the table, or a table, and the roof had fell on her, and her hair was burnt, her head, her body, and my brother pulled her out. He was all over the news. He got like the commissioner's coin or medal for something. I'm gonna post a video about it one day, because my brother did what most of us people with morals and that care about people would do in any situation, is go in into a burning fire where our chances of survival are very slim. That's the same thing that us as Christians should do, the same thing, because we got to go out there and risk everything to preach the gospel to people and bring them to Jesus Christ, to save them from that fire. Because I tell you, the fire that's going to be in hell is going to be a whole lot worse than any fire that's ever been on the face of this earth. And if we risk our lives going in to do that, we need more Pauls. We need people to go out and witness and save people from the fire. We need people to go out there and pull the people back, save our people. If we care about them, we would do these things, and we would preach the gospel and make sure that people are aware of their Savior. We need more people that are firemen, and that's what I would say. I'm a fisher of men. I'm also a fireman. You know, I'm trying to save anybody who's lost and headed down the road to burn for eternity in hell. I love you guys, and I don't want nobody to go through that. Just like here on earth, when I have my walk, if there was a house next door burning, I would go right over there and I'd go right in. There's no doubt in my mind. If I had to die doing it, I would do it. It's the same as preaching the gospel and preaching the word of Jesus, of God. I would do it no matter what. If I knew I was going to die doing it, I would still do it. There's nobody going to turn me away from it. I want you guys saved. I want you guys in heaven. It's going to be great. I'm going to go read some more comments and slow down a little bit. Roger, my daughter that is 7 asked me to put out this comment for her. I always put God first. Amen. Your daughter's awesome. And it's great that you teach her those things. And that's what we need in this time is God. We've taken God out of everything, and we wonder why the world is in so much chaos. I started working on the machine shop at 14, 35 years later. Especially kids don't get the same opportunities. Yeah, Chris, kids don't get the same opportunities. We got, I'm gonna read the rest and I'll come back to your comment. Thank you again. She's smiling right now. Mr. Fireman, I was going to be a helicopters. I love Alaska. I want to go. I went to many the governor's award of heroism. So I'm gonna go back. The kids don't have the same opportunities today. You're right, and kids don't have the same fathers that a lot of us had when we were growing up. We got fathers that are out there worried about doing everything but what they need to be doing with their kids. They feel like it's a burden to have a kid ask them a question. I see them when you're out in public. Just watch how people just go sit. Now I try not to do the people watch thing because I don't judge. I don't want to judge or be put in the situation to be judging somebody in the way they are. But if you sit and you watch the way parents are with their kids these days, they just let their kids do whatever, and the kids will be hollering and wanting something or asking a question, and they just blow them off and tell them to go on or hand them a phone and just to shut them up. We need to spend more time with our kids. We need to spend more time with our families. We need to teach kids things, not here's a tablet, here's a video game. I noticed riding down the road, because me and Aaron went to her mom's for 2 days before Christmas. Then Christmas Eve we rode to Christmas Eve we rode to my parents, to my dad's, and hung out with them that day. And then Christmas Day we drove home, and we passed through a lot of towns, and in those towns the streets were bare. When I was a kid and it was Christmas, the streets were full of kids playing with their new footballs, playing with their basketballs, riding their new bicycles, skateboards, hanging out, new basketball goal, all that. But you ride down the road now and you look at Christmas now, and the kids are stuck up in the house. They're in the house playing a video game, or looking at a pair of shoes that their mom and dad bought them that was $600. My son's one. He messaged me Christmas, and I talked with him for a second. I asked him what he did, and he said that he went to his Aunt Danny's. And then I said, well, did you get anything cool for Christmas? And he didn't respond. Well, I sent his child support today, so when he got his child support, I guess that opted him to respond to Dad's message, and he finally responded to my question about, did you get anything cool? And he said, yeah, I got some firecracker, Black Cat 1s. I don't know if any of you guys know what that is. Black Cat 1s, they're a retro style Jordan. When I was a kid, my brother had all the Jordans. I like the Air Force Ones. I'm not knocking getting your kids cool things that's going to keep them from getting picked on at school. But these shoes were, the ones I looked up, were like $700, $1,000 for a pair of tennis shoes. $1,000, you could have bought him a nice toolbox and put him to work. I got picked on in school for the shoes I had, even though Miss Pat and my dad made sure that we had Tommy Hilfiger, we had nice shoes, but before that, before my stepmom came along, I had hand-me-down stuff. I had shoes that, some brown boots, and they called them rust buckets when I was in school. I'd be walking around there like, look at you with them rust buckets. I had shoes that the front end of them were busted open, and they called them walkie-talkies. They'd pick on me. Like, look at him with them walkie-talkies. I didn't have shoes like that then. And I got picked on. It didn't make me a bad person to get picked on. Yeah, it's horrible. And I would hope that if my kids were in school and my son was in school and somebody was picking, my son's a big boy, and somebody was picking on another kid, I would give my son props if he got suspended from school, if he came home with a story of he was taken up for somebody that was being bullied. There's no sense in bullying the less fortunate. Now, my shoes that I got on right now, they're falling apart. I wear them, I buy them. So I'm gonna wear them, and I walk to the store, and I'm not worried about what anybody says. Same as what I got going on here. I'm gonna read some more, and let me check the let's see. So wasn't no more comments. I'm gonna check the time and see where we're at. Oh, we're still doing pretty good. Y'all can hear me preach for another 44 minutes, 44%. But like I say, if anybody has something to call the Friday Fellowship, and maybe that'll get my fix and I won't have to preach so much. The only reason I'm preaching so much right now is because I'm not really working, and it's kind of hard to work, look at the thing, and do anything. And not really much excitement in moving stuff and trying to figure out where it's going to go. So I feel like preaching. But my plan, we'll flip over to that. You guys get to witness me build cars at the shop where I use $80,000, $40,000 welders, pro spots, all the high-tech stuff. I would say die grinders and stuff like that. Bad Chad, y'all have heard me talk about it, uses power tools, power grinders with drop cords ran everywhere, and I'm like, dude, like, you ain't got an air compressor with like some air tools? I mean, which I guess with an air tool, it'd be the same as having a grinder, but you got cut off wheel. It's just so much easier. So I will have air tools and small compressor because I can't afford one. I don't have one. I got a little DeWalt compressor over here that won't run no air tool like I need. So I'm going to get an upright, $400, $500 upright compressor to run and do what I need to do here. But I've got the small, it's a pretty big welder. I do have a Lincoln 110 welder that I let my brother get, which he's now doing other things, so I got to go pick it up, and I'm gonna bring it here. Might use it on some or that, but I want to build a car here in this shop, in this environment. This is it's gonna be cold in the winter. It's gonna be hot in the summer. It's nothing fancy. There's nothing really here that costs a whole lot of money. Like I say, I would think that bandsaw would probably be the most expensive thing here, and only paid $75 for it. The welder and the torches, besides hand tools, which we won't be using much of that. But I want to build and show you guys that it don't take a lot of money to build and do what you love doing. I might not even pour the concrete floor. Might just take the money that I have for the concrete floor and buy an air compressor and not even worry about doing a concrete floor. Because I feel like with my skill level in building that I could build it in the yard and it wouldn't matter. I can make it happen. So who knows? Might not even get a floor. Might just build it in here on this. We'll have a jig though. I will not build it without a jig. So I want to do it and show you guys how to do it at your house, how you would do it. I want to be in that environment of doing it like you guys are. I would come to your house and somebody's house and build the car, but the problem is everybody's so far away, and for me to travel every day or every Tech Talk Tuesday to do it, I just don't have the funds to do that at this point. So that's kind of out of the question. I would love to help more of you guys. I would love to come hang out and listen to your stories and listen to what you have to say, because on here it's kind of interactive. I talk with you, you write in, I answer your questions, I try to talk back with you, but it's a whole lot more when I can come and I can spend time with you and I can give you Jesus one-on-one. No, I'm just playing. But I would love to hang out with you guys, and maybe one day, if God sees to it that that's what I'm supposed to do, or I'm led to do, then who knows? Might be doing it. Might I thought about it time and time again that if I had a big nice trailer with tools in it and a welder and all that, I could just travel around and push the gospel on my trips at places that I stop and eat and people that I meet along the way, kind of like a missionary, and then build with you guys and help you guys get through your projects and overcome obstacles in your projects, and not only obstacles in your projects but obstacles in your life. We have a lot of people that are struggling and not only building their cars, and some people don't like to talk about it. If anybody wants to talk about it, they can reach out to me, and I'm always open. I'm always my ears always open to hear what you have to say, and it don't go anywhere but me and you. And I'll help you in any way I can. But I thought about going out and traveling and ministering along the way and build cars. I do have a nice enclosed trailer, big nice enclosed trailer that would hold a welder and hold jigs and hold car parts. It's 30-something foot long. I don't have a truck that would pull it, so that would be a big expenditure. I think that's the word. Aaron's not here to correct me. And plus, it would put me on the road away from my family and away from the farm, and I wouldn't be able to do all that. But who's to say that I'm not going to do it? I might do it every couple of months. Just strike out and go help somebody build their car. I would really love to. If YouTube paid me enough, and God put it on my heart to do that, then I would strike out tonight and go do that. But the neighbors coming in, I can hear the boom boom from their radio. So let's see. Not many comments. There's still 10 people watching. Didn't figure there would be very many tonight because of New Year's, and I hope everybody has a very blessed and wonderful New Year. Let me check the time here. It's still at like 35%, so seems like it's lasting a long time. It might just instantly die. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but the neighbor comes in and his radio's booming. His house is back that way. So seems like it's lasting a long time. It might just instantly die. I was trying to see if I could hear it, but the neighbor comes in and his radio's booming. His house is back now. Let's see. Aaron cut my hair last night. He opened the door. But she didn't cut it off. It's still up there. I've actually got to do some woodworking in the house, and I went and got some wood glue because I might have some, I just not sure. But I did find this thing that I almost bought one, but I was like, I think I have one. So I do have one, but I need to glue the cabinet door back on the hutch. So this This right here, I need to take it in with me and glue that door tonight for Erin. I don't know what she's doing. It's 7:35. Trying to see what's going on. Everybody's so quiet. I think everybody's probably leaving. But anyways, I'll probably leave you guys with it. There's not much going on, and I can go back to work, and I will see you guys. It'll be a new year when I see you. Erin's canning blueberries still. So maybe, let's see, Tech Talk Tuesday. That'll probably be, I'm sure we'll be doing it. So tomorrow's Monday, which we're working probably half a day tomorrow. And then I'm going to come home and try and get on this some more. Even though I'm not done tonight, I'm going to work on it a little more and see what I can do and get it right, because I'm going to do Tech Talk Tuesday from here. I got the 49 Ford. I took the Plymouth out. It's down at the other barn. And I got the 49 sitting outside here. I'm going to move that curtain and roll it in once I get this stuff moved and put where I need to. I'm going to get this welder back to the shop. And I've got to go through those and figure out where I'm going to do with all this woodworking tools, and figure out where I'm going to put all the specialty tools and stuff. So anyways, I hope everybody has a safe New Year tonight. Celebrating, if any of y'all are celebrating tonight. I will just wake up and it will be the new year, or either I won't wake up and I'll be in glory. Either way, I love you guys, and if you need me, I'm here for anything. Cars, God, canning, farming, just want to talk, just want to hang out. I'm here. Don't never feel alone or feel like you have nobody, because I'm here, and I would say I'll always be here, but I won't always be here. But as long as I'm here on earth, I will be here to talk with you guys. I have a burden for the lost, and I have a burden for helping people and glorifying God. I just pray that each and every one of you have a blessed and wonderful new year. I pray that your families are come together and become stronger and more Christ-like, more loving, more caring, more giving. It definitely, if you're giving and you're a giving type, you will get far beyond what you give. I'm a firm believer in tithing. My dad always told me to tithe no matter what, son, and God will provide. And I do. I tithe on every bit of money I get. If anybody gives me money off of YouTube, or anybody donates money to me, I always tithe 10% of it to the church or to individuals that are less fortunate. I said that I would like to be like those guys that go out and bless people with money at restaurants and stuff like that. But I don't really think that I could do it and video it and put it out there on social media that way, because I believe in doing it and not letting people know. That's God's way of blessing, is do it in secret. But I do tell people about tithing, and I do tell people about giving, that I promise you, if you tithe and you give, you will get back. God has blessed me every time, and I can look back at every time that I've given, and God has given me back within no time. Let's see. Yeah, boasting. And I don't believe in doing that. Now, like I say, I do tell people about tithing, and I do tell people about sometimes doing it, because I try to influence. I'm not trying to say that I'm better than anybody else when I do it. I'm trying to encourage others to do it, to be able to witness what it is that God has in store for us. And just trust me that for something, let's say, a family or something like that, trust me that the money's going to them. I don't need it, and I'm not gonna steal money that I tells for somebody else. If I was to tell you guys that I have a family in need, and if you would donate to that family, every penny that you donate will go to them. And I've thought about it before, about helping some families and stuff, and through networking, because together, all of us together can pitch in a little bit, and it equals up to a lot, and all of us don't have to suffer with carrying the burden alone. So if I ever do that, just trust me that that money will be used to them. And anytime you give me money, I tithe 10% of it. I give it to somebody else. And if somebody sent me money and said, here, this is for a family, because I know a lot of families in need. Not boasting. This is boasting. But there's a guy up the road here, and as you guys can see, the freezer that was sitting right there, it's on the porch now. But I had like teriyaki chicken that's already packaged and ready, like three big packs of it. I had 2 big bags of chicken patties, like for Chick-fil-A sandwiches. Aaron throwed in some blueberries. There was something else. The teriyaki chicken. There was 2 young hens, full chicken, young hen fryers. There was something else. But anyways, I carried it up there and gave it to the guy up the road. He's in need. He thanks me every time. He says he's going to go to church with me one day. He believes in, and I think he's, I can't think of the God or whatever he believes. He's like monk. Like he believes, he don't believe in Jesus Christ. And I want him to go to church, and he always asks me when I bring him stuff, he's like, why are you so nice to me? And he's from Thailand. He's always like, why are you so nice to me? Why are you always giving to me? And I do it in the hopes of saving another soul for the kingdom. And it feels good. I love giving. But let's see. yeah, God says be humble about everything, and He also, you know, says to pray in secret. I guess that's why I'm not very good at praying out loud when I get asked to pray out loud. But I do pray every day, and I pray. I go into a room at the shop, and I get down and I pray there, and I don't do it in front of nobody, and I don't want people to see me. I don't want it to be religion. Like they have the we talked about it in church about the mosque, and they have a bell that goes off and it's time for prayer. That's religion. That's stuff that I don't want. I don't want to fall into that religious way of being. I pray when God puts on my heart to pray, when the Holy Spirit moves, and songs that I hear, and videos that I watch, and news that I hear, and God puts a burden on me, and that's when I go pray. I go pray, and I talk with Him, and I spend time with Him. It hurts me, but trust me when I say tithing it helps your soul. It helps you as a person. You feel good about doing it. And it's not necessarily given to the church. It's not, that's not tithing like everybody thinks. That's a way of tithing. That money helps missionaries. It helps spread the word. It helps families in need. It helps the church to remain healthy. I do that. I tithe my check at work to the church. But when I went to Mr. Charlie's, I think I told this story before. When I went to Mr. Charlie's and worked on his car. Let me throw some more wood in here. When I went to Mr. Charlie's and worked on his car, when I first got there, somebody that watches the YouTube channel was there to meet me and to hang out and to give a hand on building the car. Charlie's build not only benefited me, but it benefited a lot of other people. They got to hang out and meet me, which I'm nobody special. But they opened up and did things that I don't know if they would traditionally do. They just felt influenced to do it because I was doing it, and that's what I try to do. I try to do the things I do to influence others to do those things and walk the walk that I walk, and I try to walk a Christ-like life to where it leads people to Him. I ask Him to work through me and use me daily to do things that benefit the kingdom. Now, when I got there, this person ended up giving me, well, there's two people. The first person gave me, I think, $500. And the other person, just when we got back to the motel, is another YouTube guy on here. Has a well-known channel. I will say who it is. It's Go-Go. So this is not his way of boasting, because I'm telling you what he done for me. Go-Go gave me $300. He didn't have to. He gave me that out of the goodness of his heart. Gave me $300, and somebody else there gave me $500. So that night I went to bed, and the next morning I got up and I was in the shower, and I was like, you know, 500, 300, that's $800. I got to tithe $80. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna tithe $80 when I get home. But then when I was getting ready and fixing to leave the motel, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna leave the $80 for the maid at the motel. And I looked at my wallet and I laid out, and Aaron will tell you I had a habit of hiding $100 bills. My wallet's not out here. I don't have very many, but I have a habit of folding up $100 bills and putting them in my wallet in a separate pocket. That way I don't spend them because I don't want to break them. And just so happens, out of the money that they gave me, there was a bunch of 20s. So I counted out and had hundreds, plus I had some money that I had in my wallet, some 20s. Well, everything equaled out to an equal amount of 20s to make more $100 bills, that I could go take those 20s and get a $100 bill, hide that in my wallet. Get these 20s, get a $100 bill, hide that in my wallet. But there was $60 of odd 20s that I couldn't make $100 out of. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna leave the $60. I'm not gonna leave the $80. When I got out of the shower, a song came on, and it was Zach Williams. It was Bring It All to the Table. I'm not sure if any of y'all have heard it, but it's a good song. It's kind of a country style, Zach Williams is. Bring It All to the Table. And it hit me, and I wrote down those lyrics, and it talks about the struggles and the things that we go through in life, and means bring it all to the table and let Him deal with it. Let God deal with your struggles and your situations. And something told me, well, I ain't gonna say something, the Holy Spirit told me to write those lyrics down. So I wrote down the lyrics to Bring It All to the Table, and I put the $60 there with it, and I left an Amazing Metalwork sticker. And I was fixing to walk out of the room, and then I got to thinking, I've lived most of my life in motel rooms, traveling, doing sheet metal work. I was like, a lot of maids won't touch money or rings or anything valuable in higher end motels, which Mr. Charlie put us up in. They won't touch it because it's not theirs. So I made sure I went back and I wrote for the maid, so she knew that it was hers. It might have been a him, I don't know. I didn't see her, didn't witness none of it, didn't get to see the fruit from it. Hopefully there's fruit planted, and hopefully it took place. But I left the $60, and I started walking out, and God told me, why are you leaving $60? You're supposed to be leaving $80. And I was like, nah. I was like, I can get $100 for that. I can't leave. I can't break up $100 to leave another 20. I'll tithe somewhere else. And God spoke to me straight up and said, why are you being stingy with my money? So I opened up my wallet, took another 20 out, put it with the 60, left $80. Went down to the front, talked with the guys, got in the truck, didn't say nothing about it yet. And Uncle Wes is on the channel, Wes Perry. He was with me. He rode with me up there. I stopped in Tennessee and picked him up. I got in the truck, and I was just having a moment, and I was kind of doubting myself on what if I left the right amount. I don't know why. 10% is 10% of 800. That's $80. And I just felt the need to share with I call him Uncle Wes. I felt the need to share with him, because he'll tell you that I have helped him with his walk with God just since he's met me, and he thanks me. He actually bought me my first Chosen stuff. I got a Chosen shirt with the fish and a hoodie. It's awesome. I love it. It's the first thing that I have that represents God, Christ, that's wearable. So I love that stuff. So I told him, let me check and make sure I'm not gonna die. 12%. So I gotta hurry up and finish this and wrap it up. So I told him about what I did, and I told him how God spoke to me when I was leaving out and asked me why I was being stingy with his money. And Wes looked at me and he said, "That's awesome." He said, "Here, I got something for you." And Wes pulls out of his wallet and hands me $500 right then, before I even got out the parking lot. So God already knew when I left that $80 that I had another blessing coming, and he was going to make sure I got it before I left out of that parking lot. That's how great it is. And to be able to reflect back and see those blessings like that. You won't always see it. I'm not saying go give the man up the road $100 and 2 hours later somebody's going to give you 4 times the amount. I'm not saying that. It don't always work that way. If you give and you're not selfish with it, I promise you, you will get it back one way or another. And it's always going to be more than what you give. Might not be money. It might not be material things. You might get it back in just an overwhelming feeling. Who knows? But I promise, if you give, you will get back. And if you don't, God's got a plan and a reason why he don't. But anyways, I don't want to lose you guys. Let me check and see if so there's not really much talk left on there. But I just wanted to share that with you guys and take up some more time, spend some time with you, and you know, give to people, help people out, love one another. I have a club brother that messaged me today. I probably said it to some of you guys that I founded a motorcycle club years ago, and I have chapters in Florida and here, and I've tried to leave the motorcycle club, but they say I can't because I'm the founder and I'd still need to be there. So I don't have a Harley right now. I ended up getting rid of it when I built my dad's car. My dad's car was more important to me than a motorcycle and living that life. Not saying that riding a motorcycle and being in a club is a bad life, but a club brother messaged me this morning, and he was talking about that he had stepped away from the club, and that was because he didn't feel like there was people in the club that were committed, that really wanted to be there. Some were there. He said some people are there just for the fun and the coolness of I'm a motorcycle club, I got this patch on my back, I'm a gang mentality. And then you had some that he's like, you know, some of them feel entitled, some feel this way, and I was like, yeah, that's true, and that's what you're going to run into with any club, car club, motorcycle club, bingo club, any club. Just look at it this way. You deal with this type of situation at your job. And this is what I told him. I'm like, I guarantee you, where you work, there's people there that feel entitled. There's people there that are just there for the fun, or just there for the money and don't care about the job, or don't care about the product that they put out. But you don't leave your job because those people are there working amongst you. You don't leave your job, and those are just people at a job that you don't really care about when you leave and you go home. But when you're with a club, those people are supposed to be your brothers, especially a motorcycle club. They're supposed to be your brothers. Now, if you won't walk away from people that you don't care about in a job when they feel entitled or feel like they just come there to get a paycheck, you won't leave that, but you'll walk away from people that you call your brother. It's sad. It's sad that people don't step back and look at things and how they are. If I say you're my brother, if I say I love you, if I say I'm going to be there, I'm going to be there no matter what. I'm not one to be fake about anything. If I'm going to help you, I'm going to do the best I can to help you. And if I call you a brother, no matter if you're blood or not, the only thing that separates you guys from being my brother or being my family is we don't have the same father, we don't have the same mother, we don't have the same blood. That's the only thing. That's not something to not love somebody else because of blood separation. When you call somebody a brother or you call them family, there's no reason to not treat them that way.